So things didn't seem that secret, and there wasn't much of an invasion. So is the title misleading? Hey everyone, welcome to Infinite Realms. This is Robert, and yeah, I'm going to talk about Secret Invasion. And again, I'm done doing reviews of movies and TV shows. I think I'm just going to talk about my overall impressions and just leave it at that. I thought the opening of Secret Invasion was pretty good. That first episode was really something, and then after that, it just kind of stumbled at every turn. I'll say the high points were anytime Olivia Colman or Samuel L. Jackson were on screen. That they really, I thought, really did great performances with basically having very little to do with. Uh, you know, Olivia Colman's delivery was especially a highlight, and you know, to me, this kind of is typical of almost all the Marvel series. But you know what? I kind of felt like there were a little bit higher expectations just because Samuel L. Jackson was involved. And that's where it come that's where it kind of falls flat is you know, I had low expectations watching Miss Marvel, and so I enjoyed it more because it turned out to be better than I thought it would be. Now that doesn't make it great, but it's better than I thought. With Secret Invasion, it's the opposite. I mean, I didn't have very high expectations. Don't get me wrong. I expected it to be mediocre, but I really felt like it was less than mediocre. I thought it was bleh. I mean, it devolves into a typical CGI battle at the end, and the way the battle came about was just, I just felt it was dumb. It fell flat. Amelia Clark really didn't do much in this story. I mean, she was just sort of like there, and she was there to cry when Talos died, and then when Talos died, I was just like, what's the point? When Maria died, I was like, what's the point? And I thought, okay, I thought like everybody else, okay, maybe she'll come back. No, of course not, because you can't do that. You can't do anything smart. Um, you just gotta kind of kill people off for no reason. And the reveal of Rhodey as a scroll was kind of anticlimactic because you kind of already knew. It was pretty obvious. Let's never mind it was done by a phone call. It wasn't done with any real surprise. I mean, it was supposed to be this big surprise at the beginning of I think the third episode, and it was just like, meh. Uh, boy, Nick and his wife. I mean, his wife being a scroll was just kind of like, well, whatever. I mean, it didn't really feel like anything important. So it just, I mean, and it should have been. It should have been very important. And that's kind of my point is that it should have been a real big reveal, and it just kind of felt like, meh, here it is. The other thing is like we heard a lot about things, but we didn't see things. It's like we kept talking about how Fury had changed after he came back from the blip, but we never see this. We talk about it, but we never see it. We never talk about, why. I mean, there's not a lot about the history with the Skrulls and Fury. It's more talked about. It would have been nice to see some of that. And yeah, I know, the budget's cut and all that crap, but you know, I was sitting here thinking, and I've seen what felt like big moments happening in a small space. It can work if done right. This didn't feel that way. It felt like a lot of small spaces and the stakes seemed small. That didn't work. This should have been we were talking nuclear annihilation of our entire species, and it didn't feel that way. It didn't feel like there was heavy stakes going on. It just felt like, yeah, it's something that's happening. It was like a side quest rather than being a big deal. And there's a lot set up in this show, but you know, at the same time, I did kind of like the ending when the people were going nuts and kind of shooting anybody they thought was a scroll. That was kind of, I kind of liked that part because I could see that happening and people being so stupid to do that. I definitely can see us as humanity falling for that one. But at the same time, it just seemed, that comes at the end of what already hasn't delivered. And it's just like, okay, so that's one good thing in all of this, and it just doesn't fly. I mean, it just, they don't tell us when Rhodey was a scroll. I mean, they give us hints, but they don't tell us. There could have been so much there, and they just didn't even try. And that's where I really feel like the series fails. It just kind of leaves things ambiguous. It doesn't build tension. It, it just didn't deliver. I mean, it did not deliver. Again, Coleman and Jackson were the best parts of that series. The reveal at the beginning with Ross was good. I mean, but past that, it's just, yeah, okay, whatever. you know, past that first episode, and that was funny because I watched that first episode. I was like, oh, cool, this is interesting. This is kind of awesome. I caught a whole lot of stuff in there. I mean, it was like, wow, this could get really cool, and just, and it's a shame because Samuel L. Jackson is a national treasure, and Olivia Colman is a national treasure for Britain. Should have been so much better, and their interactions were great, but at the same time, when you got nothing to work with, you can't give too much. So I give them props for doing a lot with nothing, but at the same time, the show just fell flat to me anyway. I don't know. What do you think? Secret Invasion. This is probably my least favorite Disney Plus series yet. But let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.